Hey everybody, so today I decided that I wanted to eat some tuna salad. Normally I don't go a lot for fish. I like fish, I like salmon, but I'm always so worried about like the mercury. And it's so frustrating, I know. And I'm one of the people too that does this, but it's like you think you're doing real good, and then this study comes out, or this report comes out, or this breaking news comes out, or something comes out where it just confuses us all over again. For example, it was like eat fish because it's really good for you, and then it was like don't eat fish because of the mercury. Well, it just becomes so frustrating because you're like, what am I supposed to eat? So I think the biggest thing is moderation. Is probably one of the best ways to go about it. However, I do think that red beef is really great for the body for so many things. Also fat. So anyways, one of the things that I have to want, or that I'm wanting to build up in myself, is the omega-3s. And mostly because I am working out, the joints, muscles, aging, all of that, is just a reminder going down the steps sometimes, like, why does my knee hurt? Now, again, that's because of an old injury I have, so it's not like I'm super aging, but at the same time, I got to take care of everything, right? So I was like, let me get some omega-3s in. I went ahead and got tuna. I actually ordered some albacore tuna, which I didn't even know was like a different tuna. I don't like tuna in oil because usually that oil is seed oils, and we know seed oils are terrible. So I don't do that. But I have albacore tuna and then like regular tuna and water. And I also got some crab meat that was canned, and I've never seen that before. I don't know. So I'm a little bit leery about that. But what I'm wanting to do is to make spring rolls. I actually ran to the store. I still have this migraine, and it hasn't been days. It just kind of, I'm just super tired, and I'm ready to go to DeVita to go get my iron shot. I think that's the case. It could be dehydration, but I ran to the store because I wanted to get lettuce wraps, which I like to use butter lettuce. If you've ever had that before, it's like more of a like leaf, but it's, sorry, that was smoky. That it's different from like romaine. I always feel like if you really stop and taste different lettuces, you can definitely they all have like their own flavor, right? And I feel like butter lettuce is really good because I don't think it tastes like butter. I don't really know why it's called that, but I do buy it living, so it's in that like plastic container that has like still some root and dirt in it, and you can get that, and you can get like baby romaine, or like those, like a 4-pack, and that's usually what I get Marshall, because Marshall eats a lot of lettuce and he loves butter lettuce. So anyways, I don't know, maybe it's more of a creamy flavor. It's not bitter at all like arugula or anything like that. So anyways, no. I decided to make up a tuna salad, which I did, and then I just used the butter lettuce like a cracker or like a bread. So I have my own tuna salad burrito, taco, whatever you want. I just roll it up and eat it, and it's so good. I put some mayonnaise. I like horseradish. I love wasabi. That's one of the reasons I like sushi so much, is just that wasabi pow flavor it. But I also get horseradish, which is wasabi, by the way. Real wasabi is really expensive, and it's not really carried by most Asian places because of the cost. So what you're really eating is colored horseradish. I know, Crazy, huh? But I go and I buy regular horseradish in a jar, and I like to put them on my burgers. I like to put it in my tuna salad, and so it just gives it that nice little kick. And then I thought, I wonder if there's a cracker that would taste really delightful with this, right? Now, I don't eat a lot of processed foods, so then I had to go and investigate crackers. And I'm a sucker for pretzels. Once in a great while, same thing with popcorn. Once in a great while, I just want a little snack, a little salty, savory thing, and it'll end up being popcorn or pretzels, or sometimes terribly, I'm going to share the terrible secret, but sometimes it ends up being the Chex Mix. Like, you get them at the convenience stores, QT, and they have different flavors. I love in Chex Mix those rye bread toasted chip things. They're like the dark brown little toasted things in there. Like, I love that so much. So sometimes I just want just a little crunch of something, because typically I'm not even getting chips. I was a little tempted to get some hot Cheetos, which I did not. So anyways, that I was steered away from that, and I went ahead and started to investigate some of the crackers. Now, when I worked in women's ministries at this church, we would always have these like lunching things and these events, right? And so ladies like to have charcuterie boards, or that kind of style of thing. And what that is it's like when you have like grapes or like cut up fruits, and it's beautifully laid out on basically a cutting board. With different styles or different flavors or different types of cheeses and sausages or little deli meats, things like that. Like, it's this beautiful thing, right? Well, then there's this variety of crackers, and you can go to Costco and get a big box of, I think, like 4 different flavors of crackers. Usually it's wheat and sesame and maybe an everything. But they're made differently. They're not just regular crackers. They're like delicious. They're like big, and they're just flavorful. I don't know how to say it. They're almost more crisp. They're not, I don't know. Anyways, so I was not going to go to Costco at this time of the day and in this temperature. And so, of course, I go to Fry's, and Fry's, I started looking at a lot of their stuff for their ingredients, and some of the crackers, like Toll House especially. Now remember, Toll House was in cahoots in the 70s to bring about processed foods. So I'm not a big fan of supporting Toll House, sorry. So I looked at like Ritz crackers. They're terrible. And it's because they add the seed oils. So there was a lot of crackers. I don't think I found a pretzel that doesn't have sunflower oil. So you have to have something that binds a cracker, you have to have a binder. If you're a baker or a really good cook, you know that you have to have something that holds everything together. Sometimes it can be as simple as applesauce. Other times, the flour butter concoction is what holds things together. I don't even know. I'm not a good baker. I don't do hardly anything like that well. I am a Betty Crocker. I'm going to just go grab it and mix it up and put it in a pan and hope it all turns out. That's the kind of person I am. But I don't even do that. Like, the last time I even made a cake is probably when my kids were in school, and maybe like 5th grade. So that's like at least 10, 15 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. I'll make cookies. Like, cookies are kind of different because they just kind of throw everything together and voila. But I don't know. Anyways, I don't think I found a pretzel that does not have seed oil. So that really sucked. I went ahead and passed on that. And then I thought pita, like pita is more it's like processed different than regular breads, and certainly better than chips, because a lot of times pita is smoky. A lot of times pita is baked, so there's a plus there. Well, the pita that I found that was on sale, at least, like called pita chips, and a new brand, which I was really excited about. It actually had sunflower oil in it, so I had to pass on that. But I found this brand, and I've not seen it before. It's called Crisp Breads, and they're like crackers, so they're a long cracker. And they're sourdough, which is interesting. So when I looked at the ingredients, it doesn't show here. First of all, the ingredients is right there, and it's super easy to read. Like all the words I can read, and that's another plus. If you can read the ingredients, then it's probably pretty good. This sucker cost maybe $5. So in the long scheme, you're like, dang, that's expensive for this little package. But okay. Then you have to talk about serving size, and how serving size is something that we all need to jump back on board with. Like, do we need to eat 4 bowls of ramen? Do we need to eat, like a giant bowl of spaghetti? Why, yes, we do. I'm sorry, but I love spaghetti. I can hear you say this. I say it to myself too. Because an actual serving of spaghetti is a cup. That's right. If you were to measure spaghetti into a measuring cup, that's how much you're supposed to eat of spaghetti. And now we're all sad and depressed, because who wants to eat just 1 cup of spaghetti? I don't. That if I'm going to carb, that's going to be my weakness right there, spaghetti. Even more so than pizza, because I like to use beef in my sauce, and I like to use chunky tomatoes, and I like my sauce to be very saucy and not too thick. So anyways, yeah. But if you look at that, the serving size, let me look, is 1 slice. Yeah. So, I mean, the reality is that I'm probably going to have at least 2. But funny how, like, now when you reel that back and you're like, okay, so 1 slice is a serving size, that's going to last quite a while. If we can maintain serving size. That's the question. Anyways, that's my adventure. That's what I did today. Take care of yourself. Watch your ingredients. Start reading what's on your labels. That's probably just step 1. And then when you get sad and depressed, reach out and I'll try to help you find alternatives. Okay, bye-bye. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.